Alright, hello guys. It is the Loose Cannon, and we have Sam Keola, the Wrestling Connoisseur, and it's time for another episode of Mid-Card Mana. So today we're gonna do prediction videos because this is the big week, big weekend in wrestling.
A lot
of things. And so we're just gonna cover some of the larger events, but I mean there's also just everything that's going on in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Did you see Jeff Cobb's gonna have a match against Suzuki?
I did not. That is going to be crazy.
It's going to be insane. I'm excited for that. Unfortunately, that's not on any of the cards that it should be, because that should main event something.
Yeah, what is that? That's going to be a super card?
No. That's not even. That's
just a random.
I want to say it's for Marty Graps.
Yeah.
Or Joey Janela's thing. I'm not sure.
That's crazy.
Anyway, so this video is going to be about the NXT Takeover event, NXT Takeover New Orleans, which is going to be this coming Saturday.
Which we just got the new reveal of the North American title.
I know
today.
It's not bad.
Old school.
Yeah, it is.
Let's just say this is Triple H's first title he's presenting.
I know.
He's in charge, so I'm sure he had to approve the design more than anybody. And it is definitely
it is very old
school looking belt. I don't even see particularly a WWE logo on it.
I know.
If it is, it's really tiny.
When I was watching it, I couldn't really see very well, but of course I'm sure it's somewhere on there.
I'm sure it's somewhere.
Maybe it's just integrated so well into the design that we don't even notice it.
But I was like, very interesting.
Yes. So that's gonna be cool. Of course, that is. So I put it in order of what I think's gonna be the card.
Okay.
So I have the tag match first. That's the Undisputed Era, specifically Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, because Bobby Fish is out on injury. They finally addressed it.
Right.
I think
so
on
he's gonna
April
wrestle
Fool's Day
twice.
this past weekend. Yes.
Twice
So Adam Cole is going to be going in the tag team match with Kyle O'Reilly, and then he's going to also have the match with the Authors of Pain and Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne. So this is sort of like a winner take all match. It's going to be for the NXT Tag Team Championships as well as the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Trophy for this year.
I think we'll see a title change.
I do not, actually.
Yeah?
I don't. So, AOP...
I say that because... Well, I don't want to skip ahead, but I think Adam Cole's going to win the North American title.
Oh, see, I don't think that at all. No. But we'll get to that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I have a couple of ideas for that, but...
So I think Future Shock is gonna shock the system, as they say.
You think they'll retain?
I do think they're gonna retain, because AOP, I think they're done.
Yeah,
my prediction is that AOP goes up Raw night after Mania after Braun gives them these hands.
Right.
And Roddy's got to be coming up soon. Pete Dunne's already the United Kingdom champion.
Yeah, it would be weird.
I don't think they would double champion him.
It would be weird putting it on Roddy and Dunne. Although I like their finisher.
Yeah, I mean, I've been pleasantly surprised with how well they work with each other, considering
it is Roderick Strong.
How different they both are, and it is also Pete Dunne. Yeah. Pete Dunne is incredible. He's ugly as sin, but he's incredible. I tell this to everyone I see. I'm just like, oh god, Pete Dunne is ugly as sin, but my god, can he wrestle? And for being so young too, he's definitely shown that he is very.
Do you think it's not possible they would strap Authors of Pain, have them come up with the belts? Only to have them drop it next month with Braun interfering or something.
Or have to... I don't think they would do that. You know what I mean? I don't think they would have Braun go to NXT.
I don't know why not. Like, I mean, if you really think about it, it would do a little bit of integrating between their shows.
Yeah, but see, Braun
kind of stuff, set up everything.
Is more of a Vince McMahon guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he bypassed a lot of NXT.
Although Vince wasn't really high on him when he first came up. Vince was really like, what the hell? Why is this guy the shit? And Triple H was the one that goes,
No, but for
he's
real,
only
look
been
at him.
around
Yeah.
for 3 months.
And look at him.
You know,
he's shown a
Oh,
remarkable
dude,
amount of progress considering.
It's crazy the amount of progress he's made. I
But
don't know, it's interesting.
I think AOP is done.
Yeah.
I think this is their
I
swan
hope
song.
so. I hope they're coming up to the main roster. We need them on the main roster very badly.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a tough one to call because I
say Future Shock
with
here.
Fish out, unless they're just going to tag Cole and Kyle O'Reilly for a while.
Well, I think they are because I think Fish's injury saddles him for at least a good 3 or 4 more months.
Oh, that long.
Yeah.
Tough break on everybody, really.
Especially because Bobby Fish is my guy. Out of the 3 of them, Bobby Fish is my favorite.
Yeah. I like Bobby Fish and I like Adam Cole. And I know Triple H is very high on Adam Cole.
Yes.
So I kind of figure they're going to hotshot Adam Cole this season.
I disagree.
Maybe
I think,
not to the main roster, but I think Adam Cole is going to be the one that takes it off.
He was one of the NXT people that showed up at Rumble.
Right.
You know, so that was
I think that was just an early preview. I think we're going to see, before the year's over with, Adam Cole will be NXT champion.
Oh, I definitely, I agree with that. I definitely think that's going to happen. I'm not happy about it, but I mean, I think it's going to happen.
I think he'll be the first 3-time NXT champion. Go on, admit it. It's going to happen.
If they would do it to anyone, they would do it to Adam Cole. I believe that. I'm not crazy about it, but I believe it.
Okay.
Anyway, next match I want to talk about is actually the NXT North American Championship. So that's going to be a ladder match featuring Adam Cole, EC3, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, Ricochet, and Velveteen Dream.
It is so hard to really pick somebody.
I am calling EC3 for this.
You think so?
I am calling EC3 for this.
It's like I can make a case for every one of those guys.
I can too. But honestly, I think that the person that they're gonna give it to, especially with how they introduced EC3 and the whole I am in the top 1%.
And really, it's the same gimmick he's always done in Impact.
Yeah.
But it's
I mean,
over.
Yeah,
it's really over as like a face gimmick right now. So
it works very well. I'm calling EC3 for this.
I would agree with EC3. The fan in me wants to see Lars Sullivan walk out and be North American champion for
the dirty mark in me wants it to be Ricochet.
That is a dirty mark.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Ricochet. I don't think he is as strong as character-wise as some of the other choices.
I haven't seen enough of him to really to get into him.
But I also think that
Spot
Ricochet is much more interesting chasing rather than being a champion.
If they were to strap Ricochet, I would say they would take it off of him very fast.
Have him be the first 2-time NXT North American
to
champion.
Get it for that quick burst of and then him lose it and chase. But yeah, I would love to see Lars Sullivan or Killian Dane pick it up.
It would be nice for Killian Dane to have it now that Sanity. Well, now that Sanity's sort of on the outs. We haven't seen Nikki Cross compete at a high level in quite some time.
Yeah.
Alexander Wolf and Eric Young have sort of been on the outskirts, although Alexander Wolf finally recently got to actually cut a promo of his own, and I was thrilled because I was like, you busted your head open. I'm glad they're giving you attention because you busted your damn skull open.
I mean, we've seen them. We haven't seen Nikki Cross that much. But
which is
at
a
least
shame
we
because I
have
like
seen
Nikki
it
Cross
Sanity compared to some of them. We really don't see that often.
Yeah, so you are if you have to pick one, because I'm calling EC3.
Gosh, that is tough. If I had to pick one, I'm gonna go with the fan side, and I'm gonna say Lars Sullivan. I think Lars, he doesn't really need it, but it would elevate him. It really would. If you're not going to put the NXT strap on him, which I don't think they'll do.
At least not at this
juncture.
I don't think
he's kind
they
of
should
this
at this juncture.
monster heel they've been building. What better way to do it with the secondary title? You know, I think Killian needs it too, though. Is the thing. Killian's kind of just like up in the air right now. unless they're going to bring him up to the main roster, I don't know. So I can see Velveteen Dream too.
Velveteen Dream has done some incredible character work
match.
and just in character work and incredible work in general over this past.
They've done a good job
year.
building all these guys up to where they currently are, and any of these guys could really walk away with the belt. So. It should be a great match.
Which is the coolest outcome of all, frankly.
Yeah.
Because so often you kind of go into a match and can kind of predict it.
Yeah, especially with WWE so
I like
much.
the fact that I have no idea
It's
for
great.
this.
It really is.
It's awesome. So the next match that we're going to talk about is the women's match, the sole women's match for the NXT Takeover card. That is Ember Moon, which is the current NXT Women's Champion, versus Shayna Baszler, the Queen of Spades.
I think Baszler will take it this time.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think Baszler would take it, because I think if Baszler takes it, they're going to keep her down there longer. And this is my crazy envisionment of 6 months from now in the WWE. Or I guess a little bit more than 6 months, because Survivor Series is in November.
Mm-hmm.
I say they do 4 horsewomen at Survivor Series.
I figure they'll pull Ember Moon up, is why I say should.
See, I love Ember Moon, and nothing would make me happier than to see her come up. But I don't.
You don't think she's gonna come up yet?
I don't think.
Or don't want her to come up yet?
I don't think there's a really good place for her there yet. On either roster, on SmackDown or Raw.
That's the whole problem with the women's division.
Whereas I think there's a little bit more now that Ronda Rousey's up there. I think there's a little bit more of a place for Shayna Baszler to come up. Unfortunately, that means Shayna Baszler's going to bypass a lot of people. But I honestly think there's a lot more of a place for her on the main roster for her to carve out a niche. Yeah. And because of her personality and her character, I think it's a lot easier for her to go in there working as a heel. It would be easier for Rousey if Baszler come up and worked with her, in my opinion, since she kind of knows what I guess kind of what Ronda would be going through as far as transitioning to pro wrestling, and she already knows the MMA world too, so she can kind of give her pointers and whatnot. I also think because I don't know if recently, I guess I could say, but we've seen more and more news about the other members of the 4 Horsewomen showing up at indie shows. I mean, Marina Shafir is already married to Roddy, so I feel he's probably going to come up soon. So that would mean he would probably go to Raw, maybe. But if they're trying to talk her into, because I don't think Baszler as a champion will help the women's division in NXT after they were pretty severely gutted. And even though they do have a lot of call-ups from the Mae Young, it's still, as far as storyline goes, it's very threadbare. I mean, we haven't seen where they were. Well, we haven't seen the iconic duo in a long time. No. Lacey Evans has started to kind of gain prominence in the faction with the Forgotten Sons and Chad Leal, I think. With Bianca Belair's kind of been making moves, and her fiance Montez Ford is part of Street Profits, but their women's division, I think, needs a really strong leader, and I don't think that strong leader is Shayna Baszler. I think that strong leader is Ember Moon. The time, I mean, NXT is growing to be quite large now. Yeah, which is why they had to introduce the secondary title. There's not room on the main roster for all these guys, and so they're trying to sign as many talents as they can too, to keep them out of other places and whatnot, because they know they're going to need them at some point. Yeah. It's just a matter of keeping them and whatnot. So, yeah. I mean, it's good for NXT and it's bad for NXT because they have to use them somewhere. Yeah. And God, as good as NXT's going, you could add an extra hour, you could add an extra show. I mean, honestly. Yeah. The women's, I've preached it for quite some time. They need their own show, and that would solve a lot of the problems we have with the women's division as far as storylines and everything else. 2 titles, a title and tag title, something needs to happen. take notes. But yeah, so
there's a quiz after.
So that's what I think. I think honestly, like I said,
I think
there's a little bit more of a place for Shayna Baszler on the main roster than there's Ember Moon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they definitely need the strength of Ember Moon as far as her experience, her ability to work in the ring, as well as her ability to kind of be a locker room leader.
I mean, there's
in a way
spot
that
for her straight off the bat coming in as Alexa Bliss's bodyguard. Especially if you assume with Rousey there, Baszler will work directly with Rousey in that fashion too. They could build
now that
up.
Nia Jax is no longer going to be the muscle behind Alexa Bliss. So we'll see. We shall see. The next match I want to talk about isn't even the championship match because I don't think that's going to main event it. So the next match is Andrade Cien Almas versus Aleister Black for the NXT Championship.
I think Black's going to come away with it. As bad as it hurts me to say it.
I say Almas retains.
You think he's going to retain and then later?
Idolo!
I think they've just been building to this moment with Black. I mean,
so this is
going to be evident.
This is going to be terrible. I don't.
Go on, say it. He's not ready. He's boring.
That's not what I mean. I like Aleister Black. I think he's interesting in the ring. I think he has good ring psychology. I genuinely do. As far as how he carries himself in the ring as this character. Mm-hmm. I think
the biggest thing that would get Black over
is
if Undertaker shows up and gives him a nod on NXT.
That's not gonna happen.
Be like, do good out there, boy. That
way
would be
way to represent the ministry.
Thing. Right. It would,
but
seriously.
I think, okay, so my theory is Black...
Your hypothesis?
Goes for the cruiserweight. He makes the weight.
I'd be all for it.
They need more of that talent.
They put him an extra pound over like the cruiserweight or some shit. They changed what they brought in.
Buddy Murphy is 205 plus 10.
Right.
But
he's 205 and Aleister Black is 210 or something like that.
But I honestly, because the way that they've been playing it, especially with the whole Andrade Cien Almas thing, is Zelina Vega. Mm-hmm. And the weird thing that they've had, though, is Aleister Black. You know who backs up Aleister Black? Candice. Which is a weird sort of, I don't know why you would have Candice LeRae, who you keep booking as, or you keep saying is Mrs. Wrestling, Johnny Gargano's wife.
Right.
Like,
what are they going to do?
Why?
Turn Aleister Black heel? I think he would by far be a better heel than a face. And would probably show a new dynamic to his character, which might actually get him over with someone like me. But...
I mean, who knows what would work for him
at this stage, I just feel like they're going to strap Black because they've just been building to it. I think people probably expect it and maybe trade off between them sometime down the road again. Yeah.
I mean, on one hand, I don't think at this point
I'd be
Almas needs the title. Because he's shown that he has the character and charisma without it.
I feel like he's going to get called up and put on SmackDown, and he'll be maybe in the U.S. division, U.S. title scene.
But also, I don't feel like he's
heavier than 205, right? Almost.
Yeah. But I don't feel like Aleister Black really has the
charisma.
I don't know if charisma is the word I would use. Perhaps pizzazz, but I mean he just
it factor.
He from the different feuds that he's had, he hasn't really been anywhere near, like, he hasn't really shown that he can hang with all people all the way at the top. Really, he hasn't had many singles matches at that sort of level. He's had a lot of sort of mid-card singles matches, which shows that he could honestly probably be a great NXT North American champion. But and I mean, even the feud with Velveteen Dream, which to me was probably
his best.
My favorite thing that he's done. I mean, Dream definitely got a little bit more of the shine in it. It didn't hurt either of them.
No.
But it didn't help him as much as it helped Velveteen Dream.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Velveteen Dream at this point would be more ready to be a champion of NXT, like but the NXT champion, than Aleister Black.
Goes saying his charisma and character are also far more built for it. I mean, Aleister Black, if you have strong heels to challenge him, may be an okay champion. At this point, I was going to say that before you told me that Adam Cole was in the tag match, I would say strap Black and have Cole take the belt off of him immediately.
Adam Cole would be a good heel for him to work with, and I mean we saw it in their no DQ match, where I mean really that's what made me appreciate a lot more of the personality, even though you say he has none.
I still don't see it. It's just
made me appreciate a lot more of the personality of Aleister Black.
But I don't know. I'm just not. The roster is so full of guys. Are you sure
you don't like Aleister Black because you have your nails painted black like a goth chick? Who would like Aleister Black?
I'm a little goth chick. The roster is so thick with personality and characters
that it's easy for him to get lost in that shuffle. You have someone like
Aleister Black, who is portraying this goth chick character, who is this dark, brooding character.
But because his character isn't as flamboyant as some of the others,
it works. For example, like
look at
Undertaker, who is this huge guy.
I mean, and then you look at Aleister Black and the people that he is performing beside.
Yeah, they're blowing him out of the water. I mean, Velveteen Dream is the perfect example. I mean, he's just
Velveteen Dream.
There's so much. It'd be like putting Aleister Black in the ring with Dusty Rhodes. It's gonna be like who's the broom in the corner? With the black handles. It's just one of those things, and to me, his ring work doesn't stand head and shoulders above everybody else to be noticed either. I mean, you could take a guy that was like Chris Benoit, and yeah, I know, right? And who can't cut a promo worth a damn, and who really like there's no character there, but his ring work was just phenomenal.
Incredible, yeah.
And they'll get over by their work alone, but I don't feel that with Aleister Black's work. When he's in there with somebody that's really good, that can, sell him. But I mean, let's look at when Batista was champion, they put him to work with JBL, they put him to work with Undertaker, and all these other Triple H, these ring generals who could get him
Daniel
over.
Bryan even.
Yeah, and I mean, it worked because of that. He was made to look like $1 million because he was in there with $1 million. It just wasn't his. And to me, it's like that's what you would have to do if Aleister Black is champion. And they got the people to do that with, but we've kind of already visited that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like a rehash of everything. The only thing I would say is if they strap Aleister Black and then McIntyre comes back as a heel, might work.
Which leads me to my other theory that I told you about, but we'll save it for the other video. But
okay.
Anyway,
you have to tune back in.
Anyway, now we're going to talk about the last match. It is an unsanctioned match, and it is probably
even working with one of these two guys would be
huge.
Yeah,
because both of them are just incredible.
Yeah.
I love both of them. But we're talking, of course, about the unsanctioned match between Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa.
Johnny Wrestling,
and the Psycho Killer.
And let me just say, the build up to this, the other week we saw, and we've seen Ciampa come out and cut no promos
and just get booed out of the place.
Major heat. Where we're watching it, and my daughter is like, "Oh, I wish he was there. I wish Gargano was in the arena."
Did she say that?
She did. She was sitting on the couch.
And then she saw the...
And I knew it was coming. And he grabs the sign, turns around, and she goes, "Oh!" She goes, "Oh my God!" And it was probably the first time she's marked out like that.
That is awesome.
It was really cool.
I love Gargano, but Ciampa was always my favorite between the two of them. And just seeing
two different just two different.
Oh no, it's hugely different. Yeah. But I mean, like,
this is going to be an amazing match.
Just
possibly
how,
the biggest.
Well, match I mean, how much he's owned the heel, and just really went over the top with it.
He's hungry.
Is so I mean? Good, and I mean, hungry. And it's unfortunate that the injury sidelined him for so long.
Oh, he's come back ripped though.
But he is huge. Dude. There is no way he's a cruiserweight now. He put on 50 pounds all muscle.
And it could be why he did it. I don't know. Like, I'm I'm hitting the gym.
He is huge. He is absolutely huge.
This match is going to be
I'm amazing. So excited for this match. I mean,
who you going to pick?
I say Ciampa wins. I say Ciampa wins. Gargano moves up.
The thing is, like, where are you going to put Gargano besides 205? I mean, you could put him anywhere because essentially he is Daniel Bryan light, but
now that Daniel
Bryan's back, so you can't put him on the same show with Bryan unless you tag them or something, which would also be great. But yeah, I kind of wonder, like, if they're not just planning on keeping him in NXT for a while.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have, because of course the stipulation is if Gargano wins, he's reinstated into NXT. If Ciampa wins, Gargano's gone for good.
Right.
And of course they just brought in Mrs. Wrestling, so I can believe they would have Gargano get the win here, but I think it would be like far more interesting to let Ciampa take it.
I agree. I feel like they're going to give it to Gargano, but I think having Ciampa win and this feud just keep going would by far be the best option. You know,
maybe
keep going either
potentially
way,
potentially even double turn. Have because Ciampa's been going on and on and on about how Gargano is following me home. He's bothering me in my house. He's chasing me. He's chasing me down.
Difficult double turn.
I think character-wise, both of these guys could do it.
I'm sure they could.
And I think it would be a fascinating turn of events.
But wow, would it work? Because the fans are so behind Gargano and they're hating Ciampa so much.
I know.
And I know that's the perfect time to do it, but can these guys pull off an Austin Hart thing? And I give all that credit to Bret Hart. I mean, it wasn't the back room that told him to double turn. Bret just took that in his hands essentially and made Austin. You know, he saw it like, okay, this guy needs to be a face. And according to Stone Cold, at least, it was, Bret just told him like, hey, we're gonna do this tonight. I'm gonna make you a face. It's time for you to turn. And just took it in his hands to have it done. And of course they bled, and I guess they would have gotten in trouble if it hadn't worked.
But apparently it worked. Perfect,
so the shit didn't hit the fans. But could this actually be worked out to where they could double turn both of them?
I definitely think they could.
I'm gonna say if anybody could do it, Triple H could.
Yeah.
But sometimes usually he doesn't see things all the time. Like,
well, I mean, also I think as far as character work goes, it would be. I mean, both of these guys have the potential to do it.
Yeah.
And as much as Johnny Wrestling is Johnny Wrestling, I've seen him get mean.
I
know he has it in him, and I know he's studied enough that he could do it. And likewise with Ciampa,
like he would have to go so overboard.
Yeah.
That the fans would have to go, okay, that's enough. Like you've got your revenge. This is taking it too far. I would love to see it.
I'd say Pillmanize Ciampa's knee, and then have Candice go and stop, like try and pull him off and stop him, and he just like accidentally shoved Candice.
So you would do it and keep her like the face and have Gargano go heel, and then you could just keep them together and have Gargano treat her like Savage treated Elizabeth. I mean, really, that's the way to do it.
That would be the way to do it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And that would keep her face and him heel, but together.
But then you would also gain sympathy points for Ciampa because Ciampa would be the one to be like, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Or trying to protect her.
I know his beef is with me, not with you.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry you got dragged into this.
But that would be after fact. You'd have to turn him in the match somehow, really. But
yeah, no. I that would be ideal. because I think Ciampa
honestly,
is
Ciampa
on fire as a heel right now.
He would have to bleed like I did the other week. Like you would have to have
how is that, by the way?
Oh, it's all no scarring. You would have to have Gargano do like what you just said, be going after him, just beating him down, hurting him, shoving his wife, and then Ciampa just crawling over, just trying to whatever. Gargano maybe just cursing her or something.
What are you doing? After everything he's done to me, you're gonna try and stop me from doing this? Blah blah blah, stuff like that.
God, he would have to like break his fingers and just leave him a bloody mess before he wins, and just like not pin him after he's won.
Yeah,
like just keep beating the hell out of him and then pin him, and like there's no doubt.
Have ref call stoppage instead of like a pin.
It could possibly work.
I would love that.
It would depend on the crowd.
I don't know how possible that is, but I think that would be amazing.
What I think they'll do is Gargano will win, big celebration, and then with him back, Ciampa's just gonna make his life a living hell.
Yeah.
And they'll just keep it going like that for a while. It's kind of predictable, but this should be a really excellent match.
Oh yeah, this match, without a doubt, is going to be fantastic.
Possibly the best match of the weekend.
I would put money on it. I would definitely put money on it. Well, I mean, Gargano and Ciampa have worked together for so long. And they were very fortunate to have found they have a really natural affinity with working with each other in ring as well as outside of the ring to create their friendship at first and now their feud.
I would say you really want to get some major heat in this match. Right at the finish, Roman Reigns comes in, spears everybody. Huge heat.
We're talking about NXT.
I know he used to be there. He used to be there. He's gonna go back there too. He's gonna be everywhere. All right, so that's
NXT Takeover. Those are our predictions.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for our predictions for Supercard of Honor, which is on the same day, as well as, of course, WrestleMania 34.